Okay, so today we'll study hexagonal close-packed crystal structure. Details about hexagonal crystal structure. If you remember, the lattice parameter of the hexagonal crystal structure is, lattice parameters are, it has A equal to B. If you remember, A equal to B, but C is not equal. And then alpha and beta are equal to 90 degree, and gamma is 120 degree. That's the lattice parameter of the hexagonal close-packed crystal structure. If I ask you to draw and how the hexagonal crystal structure are formed, you see, like in this case, you can place over here. You can look at here. We have studied this one. If you look at yourself in this atom, you can place 6 atoms surrounding, like this one. You can place maximum 6 atom touching the center atom. Okay, and this is the bottom layer of the hexagonal close-packed crystal structure. And then second layer is placed touching 3 atoms of the bottom layer, like this one. And then touching 3 of the bottom layer, 3 of the bottom layer. So the bottom one is A layer. So dark green is A layer, blue one is B layer, and then on top you will put similar to A layer, another layer. So A, B, and then A, B, and A, B. So this is layer A, this is A layer, and this is B layer, and again A layer. So A, B, A form the hexagonal close-packed crystal structure. So if I ask you to draw, you should draw it in your notebook, lecture notebook. So hexagonal close-packed crystal structure, answer will be this one. Now we always calculate how many atoms are there in a unit cell of hexagonal close-packed structure. If you want to calculate number of atoms per unit cell, you see each atom, this atom actually shared, this angle is 120 degree. This angle is 120 degree. So it can share maximum 3 unit cell, because 120 times 3 is 360. 3 unit cell in its own level, like this one, and 3 at the bottom. So that means each corner atom is shared by 6 atoms. So contribution of these atoms in this unit cell is 1 by 6. And how many such atoms are there? 6. So 1 by 6 multiplied by 6 is give you 1 from the outer rim. Okay. And these atoms actually is shared by this unit cell and another unit cell at the bottom. So contribution of this one is half. So 1 plus half is 3 by 2 from the bottom layer. And bottom layer and top layer are exactly same. So another 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 multiplied by 2 will give you 3 atoms from the bottom layer and top layer. And the mid layer lies entirely in the unit cell. So these 3 atoms are in its own unit cell. So total number of atoms will be 3 plus 3, that is 6. So number of atoms per unit cell in case of hexagonal close-packed crystal structure or HCP is n equal to 6. Okay, we have mentioned this here. Now, example of the hexagonal close-packed crystal structure is like materials like cadmium, magnesium, zinc have this sort of crystal structure. So in the exam, we might ask you to give some example of the hexagonal unit cell. Okay, so in case of hexagonal crystal structure, as you have seen, like if you want to calculate packing factor, you need to calculate the volume. So if you want to calculate the volume, then you need to find out you need to express C in terms of A. If you can express C in terms of A, then things become easier. So C by A ratio is important. Now, which one is C? C is this one. The whole thing is C. Okay. And then this is A and that one is B. So A and B are equal. So A and B actually is at this distance, or this distance, or this distance, or this distance, or this one, or this one. That's the A or B. So we need to find out the relationship between C and A. So how to find out? You see that this mid plane form a equilateral triangle. As you can see, it's an equilateral triangle. And if you draw the median of this triangle, all the median will intersect at point A here. So if the median to this distance is h, so from this median to this distance will also be h. So relationship between C and H will be C will be 2H. Okay, let me tell you again. The mid layer form a equilateral triangle. Okay, mid layer form a equilateral triangle. And if you draw the median, they will intersect at this point. So median to the top atom, we choose this distance as H. So another H will be at the bottom for the bottom layer. So C basically C equal to H. So we'll use this relationship to find out C by A ratio. Like again we draw this one. This is the mid plane, and that is the upper one. Okay, so if the mid plane forms the triangle ABC, and the median intersect at point O. So from O to the mid plane distance is H. And relationship between, as I have mentioned, relationship between C and H is C equal to 2H. Now, you see angle ODA is the equilateral, is a right angle triangle. And which one is the right angle? Right angle is this one. This one is 90 degree. If this one is 90 degree, this one will be the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse means AD square. So if we apply Pythagoras, AD square will be 2A square plus OB square. Okay, this is D. AD square. This is also D. AD square equal to OA square plus OD square. Okay, and from here OD square will be AD square minus OA square, like here, and OD will be square root of that one. Square root means half. Okay. Now AD is, if you look at this one, AD is basically this distance. Okay, and this distance is A. Okay, AD equal to A. And what is OA? OA is, you have studied in higher math, OA is 2/3 of AE. OA is 2/3 of AE. Now, as these are equilateral triangle, all angles are equal, and all sides are equal, and all angles are also equal and 60 degree. Okay, so OA is 2/3 of AE, and AE is AC sine 60 degree. Projection of this one. AC sine OA equal to AC sine 60 degree. So that means OA will be 2/3 of AC sine 60 degree. And substitute the value of sine 60 degree, so this will OA will become A by root over 3. And if you substitute the value of AD and OA in this equation, you will see OD, which is equal to OD is nothing but H. So H will be this one. Okay, and from here you can C will be double of this one. So it will be 2√2 by 3A, or C by A will be root over 8 by 3, which is 1.63. That means if you have an ideal hexagonal closed packed crystal structure, then C by A ratio will be 1.63. So now you express C in terms of A, and B is equal to A. So you can calculate the volume very easily. Okay, if you calculate the volume easily, then you can calculate, the number of atoms, then you can calculate the packing factor. So packing factor in this case will be 0.74, which is same as FCC crystal. And we have mentioned that FCC is one of the closest packed crystal structure. Hexagonally, so from packing factor point of view, hexagonal is also one of the closest packed crystal structure. So that is why hexagonal is called hexagonal closed packed crystal structure. Okay, that's it. Okay, so very often we have used the term top plane, bottom plane, mid plane, and all those things. So, crystal plane, a crystal contains plane of atoms. Okay, these planes influence the properties and behavior of the material. Thus, it will be advantageous to identify various planes within the crystal. Actually, the property of the material depends on how many atoms are in that plane. So, if the number of atoms are more, and if in another plane number of atoms are less, the behavior, local behavior of the plane will be different. Okay. So we need to identify the plane. Planes are identified by Miller indices. This is the plural of index. Okay. So Miller indices, and Miller indices is constructed in the following way. So a plane in the crystal is identified by Miller indices. They are basically the reciprocals of the three intercepts on the crystallographic axis that the plane makes with the axis. Okay, and then you will clear of fractions if you have a fraction and common multipliers. Okay, let me tell you in detail about that. To obtain Miller indices, you need to do some work step by step. At first, you should find out the intercepts on the crystal axis. So crystal axis are x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Suppose we are considering this plane. Okay, let us consider the simple cubic crystal structure. So the atoms will be located only at the corner. Okay, only at the corner. So find the intercepts on the crystallographic axis in terms of lattice constant. That's the first task. So you'll get three numbers, and then second task is take reciprocals of this number. And then third one is, if you take reciprocal, if your intercept is a, reciprocal will be 1 by a. So it will be it will not be an integer. So you will have three reciprocals, and then you should convert them into integers. And after converting integers, if you have a common multiplier, you should take off that common multiplier as well. And then you will get three numbers. And then you will put these three numbers in a first bracket, in a parenthesis, okay, without comma. Then Miller indices will be constructed. Okay, let me give you, okay, and if you have negative intercept on the crystallographic axis, you will find out the Miller indices in the similar way. However, you will put a bar for which the intercept was negative. Okay. So let me give some example. Suppose we want to calculate the Miller indices of this shaded plane. And these are x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. What are the intercepts on x-axis? Intercept on x-axis for this plane is, origin is at the back, so it will be one lattice constant. Like it will be like this one lattice constant here. So intercept on x-axis will be, intercept on x-axis will be a. Now, what is the intercept on y and z-axis? Look, this plane is parallel to the y-axis. If it is parallel to the y-axis, they will not actually intercept. However, to solve this problem, I need an intercept. So normally, we say that two parallel lines will meet each other at infinite distance apart. So the intercept of this plane on y and also z-axis, it's parallel to z-axis as well. So y and z-axis will be infinity. So intercept on y-axis infinity, intercept on z-axis also infinity. So now you got, so number one task is done. Second task is take reciprocal. So take reciprocal means 1 by a, 1 by infinity, and then 1 by infinity. And if you simplify this one, it will be basically 1 will be 0, and 0. So second task is done. Take reciprocals, and also part of the third one, convert them into so it will be 1 by a and then 0, 0. Okay, and convert them into integers. If you want to convert them into integers, you have to multiply all by a. So you multiply all by A, it will be 1, 0, 0. And then you have three numbers and put them in a first bracket. So 1, 0, 0, first bracket. Say 1, 0, 0, first bracket is, and there is no common multiplier here. If there is no common multiplier, you don't need to take off nothing. You cannot take anything off from here. So that means 1, 0, 0 is the Miller indices of this plane. Similarly, if you find out the Miller indices of this plane, the shaded one, suppose this is simple cubic crystal, so atoms will be located at the corner. For this plane, again, you can find out the intercepts on the crystal. Now, look at this plane. This plane is parallel to x-axis and also parallel to z-axis. That means intercept on x and z-axis will be infinity. How about the intercept on y? You have an intercept on y-axis. This is one lattice constant. If it is cubic, it will be a. So in this one, intercepts will be infinity. Write down properly, infinity, a, and then take reciprocal. So 1 by infinity.
So infinity क्या होगा?
1 by a, and then 1 by infinity. So and then convert them into integer. So it will be 0, 1, 0. Okay. And then if you wanna calculate the Miller indices of this plane, the top plane, top one. So again, you need to do these three jobs. Take that is intercepts on the crystallographic axis. So this plane is parallel to x and y axis. Parallel to x and y axis. Intercept will be infinity for x. As yes, intercept is infinity for y and a for z. So if you convert them into take reciprocal, convert them into integer, it will be 0, 1, 0, 1. So that's that is how you will find out the Miller indices of different crystal planes. Now the question is, if you want to find out Miller indices of this of the plane behind this one, behind that one, that plane. So in that case, you will bring the axis in front. So axis will become here. If axis come here, then intercept will be intercept of that plane will be minus a. So and if the intercept is minus a, so Miller indices will be same. It will be so you will put a bar, 1 bar 0, and then 0, 1 bar 0. Similarly, in Miller indices of the plane behind this one, it will be 0, 1 bar, and then 0. For this one, it will be 0, 0, 1 bar. That plane, the bottom one. Okay. So now you see this 1, 0, 0, and then 1 bar 0, 0, and 0, 1, 0, 0, 1 bar 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 0, 1 bar. These 6 planes are identical. So identical planes are represented by second bracket. So please note carefully. A single plane is denoted by HKL, first bracket. And if you put a second bracket, the meanings will be different. So you have a 6 sets of Miller indices. 1, 0, 0, 1 bar 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1 bar 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 0, 1 bar. All these 6 planes. So if you put a second bracket and one set of Miller indices, either you can put 1, 0, 0, or 0, 1, 0, or 0, 1 bar 0, or whatever, any of the 6 sets and second bracket, that will indicate all these 6 planes. So that is called the families of planes. Like here, it is explained here. So you have 1, 0, 0, this plane, and then this is 1 bar, it goes up, and 1 bar. So you can collectively express this by families of plane, H. So HKL second bracket. And then we can find out more like this one. You see, we have already calculated this one, this plane, top one, 0, 0, 1. And if you calculate this plane, the Miller indices will be same. So that means this plane are parallel planes. all parallel planes has got the same Miller indices. Okay, now if we calculate the Miller indices of this plane, intercept on x-axis is giving intercept. Okay, let me find out of this plane. We're gonna find out for this plane. So suppose choose any arbitrary crystal system. So let us remember will be A, B, and C. So intercept on x-axis will be in terms of lattice constant. So it will be one lattice constant, 1A, it will be 1B, and it is parallel to the z-axis, so it will be infinity. So first task is done. The second task is reciprocal. So it will be 1 by 1, 1 by 1, 1 by, and then convert them into integers. So if you multiply, so 1 by 1 means 1, 1, 1, 0. And there is no common factor. So you reduce, that will be 1, 1, 0. And then just put it in a first bracket. So this is the Miller indices of this plane. Now, if you look at here, if you go in this plane, so Miller index of this plane is 1, 1, 0. So this one is also 1, 1, 0. This one is 1. And what about this one? Miller index of this one is actually one lattice constant, and also one lattice constant, z-axis. So if you convert that one, it will be 1, 1, 1. So Miller index of this plane is also same. This plane is also same. Parallel plane has got the similar Miller indices. Okay, and we have already calculated the step-by-step calculation of Miller indices of this plane. Now we are going to calculate Miller indices of this plane. For that one, you see intercept on x-axis is half. It is halfway, so it's half, and it is parallel to y and z-axis. And then take reciprocal. If you take reciprocal, it will be 2, 1 by half means 2, and then 1 will be 0, 0. Okay, now you can reduce this one 2, 0, 0 into 1, 1, 0, 0. So Miller indices will be here. If you reduce that one, you 1. So 1, 0, 0 is the Miller indices. So again, actually, why it is 1, 0, 0? This plane is parallel to this one. And then if I ask you to calculate Miller indices of this plane, intercept is half here, intercept is full here, and intercept is almost 3, 4. Yeah, it's about 3, 4. So intercept is half, 1, 3, 4. And then take reciprocal. If you take reciprocal, reciprocal of half is 2, this one, and then reciprocal of 3 by 4, 3, 4. And then next task is convert them into integer. So to convert them into integer, you have to multiply all by 3. So it will be 6, 3, 4. And there is no common factor. So you just put a first bracket in 6, 3, 4 without any comma. So that's the Miller index display. And families of planes we have already discussed. It is identified by this second bracket. Okay, so now we have studied crystal planes. Another things we need to know is crystal directions. So crystal directions are basically simply indexed as a ray, like this one is a ray. So ray means it has one starting point and there is no end point. So crystal directions are indexed simply as a ray extending from the origin. It will start from the origin and pass through the location of the lowest integer. What is that? And crystal directions are denoted by third bracket. So please note carefully. So so you'll have 3 figures, 3 numbers, and third bracket. That gives you the crystal directions. So if I remind you, first bracket and then 3 number H, K, L without any comma is a single plane. Second bracket and HKL is a group of planes, families of planes. And then third bracket actually represents the crystal direction. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 crystal directions. How will you draw that? So it is the origin. So this is the 1 on x-axis, 1 on y-axis, 1 on z-axis. This is actually basically Cartesian coordinate of this point is 1 comma 1 comma 1. So actually it passed. So you'll draw the ray from origin to the to this atom. So that is 1 1 1 direction. So now why this is 1 1 direction? Actually this 1 1 direction pass through. If you draw half, half, and then half, this line will also pass through this atom. And if you draw like 2, 2, 2, this line will also pass through 2, 2, 2 point. So this 1, 1, 1 line pass through 1, 1, 1 point, half, half, half point, 2, 2, 2 point, 3, 3, 3, 3 point. So we are not calling it half, half, half direction or 2, 2, 2 direction. We are calling it 1, 1 direction. Why we are calling it 1, 1 direction? Because by definition, it has to be lowest and integer. It has to be lowest and also integer. So half, half, half is lowest, but these are not integer. On the other hand, 2, 2, 2 and 3, 3, 3 are integer, but that are not lowest. So among them, 1, 1, 1 are integer and also the lowest integer. So that is why we call it 1, 1, 1 direction. Similarly, if I ask you to draw the direction of the x-axis, direction of x-axis will be basically 1 point, and then there is no y and z, so it will be 1, 0, 0, and then third point. What is the direction of y-axis? Direction of y-axis will be 0, 1, 0, and then third point. Direction of z-axis is 0, 0, 1, and then third bracket. Okay. Now, what is this direction? This direction is 1 here, 1 there, and there is no z. So 1, 1, z is 0, and draw the array. And what about this one? Look, it's 1 on the x-axis, 1 on the y-axis, and 2 on the z-axis. So 1, 1, 2, and so on. So in the exam, I might ask you to draw different crystal directions. So we have studied this morning. So far, we have studied hexagonal crystal structure, details about hexagonal crystal structure, and then crystal planes, and also we have calculated C/Y ratio, and then we have studied crystal planes, and we have learned how to find out the how to index a crystal plane, and also we have studied crystal directions, families of planes, etc. Previously, actually, we have calculated linear density and also overall density, but we did not calculate the planar density of atom. We did not calculate the planar density of atom because we did not know about crystal plane at that time. Now we know about crystal plane, so we need to study how to find out the planar density of atom. And definition of the planar density of atom is actually you will find out, you will consider a plane, find out the area of the plane, and find out the number of atom in that plane. So planar density of atom basically defined by number of atom divided by the area of the 2D unit that you have considered. Okay. Now we want to calculate planar density of atom of 100 crystal plane of iron crystal. You have studied previously, iron crystal at room temperature is body centered cubic. So as T less than that is the Curie temperature. If it is less than this, crystal structure is BCC. BCC means atoms will be located at the corner. Look at here, the atomic stack corner, and also the body center position. 1-1 plane is this. This is the front plane. Look at here. This is the front plane. And if we draw 1-1 plane separately, it will be this one. So what is the area of the plane? Area of the plane is this length is A, this length is A. So area of the plane is S square. So we know the denominator. Area is done. Now we need to calculate how many atoms are in this plane. To find it out, look at here. So these atoms are shared here, 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 and there. So contribution of this atom in this plane is 1/4. And as these are space lattice and space lattice points are identical, so another 1/4 will come from this corner, another one from this corner, and so altogether number of atoms in this case will be 1. So the planar density of atom for 100 plane for BCC crystal is 1/s. And then in this problem, radius of the atom is given. If you remember, we have studied the relationship between radius and lattice constant for various space lattices in cubic crystal system. So in this case, the Bodhi-centered case, we know that √3a equal to 4r. We have derived this. So r will be √3. R will be √3 a. R will be √3a divided by 4. Okay, so that's the one. Or a, sorry, a, you need to calculate a. R is given. A will be 4r by √3. So this one, 4r by √3. Okay, or 4√3 r divided by 3. R is known, you can calculate A. If you can calculate A, you can calculate area, which is a square, and then 1 by area is the planar density of atom. Now, instead of this one, 1001, if I ask you to calculate planar density of atom in 111 plane, 111 plane is so you draw this corner and then this corner and this. So sides of this 111 plane is √2a. Okay. Now it is 111 plane is, if you consider the room as a unit cell, so you draw a diagonally line, or it's like a ladder, and ladder will be inclined to one of the corner. Okay, so if it is inclined to one of the corner, so this is the one, this side is √2a. So this, the body-centered atom will not lie in this plane. So atoms will be located only at the corner. Now it's a triangle, so it is very difficult to find out the repeat unit here. So what we are going to do, we will take another 111 plane from the neighboring unit cell. If you take that one, so this will be the 2D repeat unit, and then another 2D repeat unit, another 2D repeat unit, another 2D repeat unit, and so on. So now we got the 2D repeat unit. So it forms a parallelogram. Okay. And the area of a parallelogram is base multiplied by height. This base is basically √2a. I said this one because it is the diagonal. So both sides are a, so diagonal will be, using Pythagoras, it will be √2a. Okay, so now to find out the number of atoms in this repeat unit is easy. Each atom will be shared by, as before, is this unit, and another unit here, another unit, and another unit there. So 1/4. So number of atom will be again 1. So the planar density will be 1 divided by area. So how to find out area? Area is, this is the one side, √2a and multiplied by h. So how will you calculate h? So you can calculate h as √3 a by 2. And if you substitute these values, so this is the one, this will be the expression for the area, and substitute the value of area here, and then you can calculate the planar density of atom. That means number of atom per square meter. Okay. Instead of BCC crystal, if I ask you to calculate the planar density of atom for FCC crystal, if you draw the FCC unit cell will be, and 110 in the FCC unit cell, atoms will be located here in the corner and also in the phase center position. Okay, So in case of face center cubic crystal and 100 plane, number of atom will be from the corner contribution will be 1, and then face center atom will be in its own. So number of atom in this plane will be 2. Area will be as before, s square. So the planar density of in this case will be 2 by s square. And then what about 100 FCC? FCC in other you can find it out. Okay, but like if you calculate 111 plane of 110 plane of body centered cubic crystal. Now this middle atom actually lies in this plane. So 110 plane for BCC crystal, number of atom will be 2. But the area will be, one of the side is root 2a, another side is a. So it will be root 2 s square. So planar density will be for BCC 110 plane will be this one, 2 by root 2 s, and so on. So in the exam, I might ask you to calculate planar density of atom in various crystal. Okay. Okay. So today we're gonna stop here today.